Chapter 2, Summary, Yoga as Work and Devotion. In Bhagavad Gita 6.2, it says, what is called renunciation is the same as yoga, or linking oneself with the Supreme, for no one can become a yogi unless he renounces the desire for sense gratification. How can you say that you're a yogi or that you're doing yoga when you're literally doing it not for God or for any other reason other than for your own self? So many yogis, so-called yogis, go to their flow or vinyasa class and then they go drinking on the weekends. Everything belongs to God. So it literally says right here in chapter 6, like where yoga comes from in Bhagavad Gita, it literally says, no one can become a yogi unless he renounces the desire for sense gratification. And yet most people in yoga are doing it for sense gratification. That's why they're doing it in the first place. Prabhupada also says that thinking of Krishna is the essence of all yoga systems, whether it's the Hatha, Karma, Jhana, or Bhakti, or any other system of yoga, sacrifice, or charity. All the recommended activities for spiritualization and in Krishna consciousness. And thinking always of Krishna, the actual perfection of human life lies in being always Krishna conscious and always being aware of Krishna while performing all activities. A big emphasis here in this chapter is about activities and always being engaged in service. And Prabhupada and talked about this, but this is common sense. But like if you look out in the natural world, nothing is really just sitting doing nothing. Be honest, like the javelinas are knocking over trash cans and eating trash. The snake is running around, the lizards are running around, the quails are going in a line, the deers are eating grass, like the clouds are moving, then it's lightning one day, and then it's hot, the sun's going across. Like there's activities all the time. So this whole idea that we're just supposed to sit and do nothing all the time and hide in the forest is misguided. There's obviously activities happening, and so the point of yoga is to not have activities. It's to have your activities and to do your activities, but to do those activities for God. So if you're doing your job and you're just doing it so that you can get money, so that you can go get beers or satisfy your body, well, you're totally missing the point of Krishna consciousness. Maybe that's not your goal, but if it is your goal, or if yoga is your goal, then the whole point is that you're doing whatever it is you're doing, and instead of just doing it for your own self, you're constantly thinking about that you're doing it for God. So naturally, someone who is just like sweeping the floor and just doing it because they're trying to get money to go get a beer, okay, well then it's going to be reflected in their work. They're just going to quickly sweep the floor, just good enough to barely get by, the bare minimum, and then that's it. Someone, on the other hand, who's doing it not for their own sense gratification, that's doing it for God, is thinking like, oh, I'm doing this for God, like I'm going to do my best, I'm not going to be a psycho and like take years to just sweep the floor. Like I'm just going to do my job, and I'm going to do it good, and I'm going to do it for the Lord. And this attitude is just pure gold. It imbues the atmosphere around this person who's working with like a golden aura of like service. Same thing in the service industry. You can tell, like, so many times it's so obvious the people that are there, they're just there for money, and that's fine. No judgment. No one's judging you. I mean, like, obviously you're there, but this is a recommendation for how to do your work and to make even more money because people will notice that you're taking this different attitude. But so many times I'm just like, wow, they just don't care at all. They're just here just to get the paycheck and leave. But if you're having that attitude of, I'm doing this, and not only am I doing it for money, but I'm actually doing it for God, so I'm like doing a good job, you're going to get way more money anyway. One of my favorite examples is for everyone to just imagine like two guys fighting in the UFC, right? Usually it was boxing, but we have UFC now. And let's say one fighter is he's thinking about oh, am I gonna win? Am I gonna get hurt? Oh, is the girl gonna like me? Oh, he's like, his mind's thinking about all the rewards and the possibility of loss or victory, and you know what I mean? And he's thinking, and there's all these reasons, ulterior reasons why he's doing it. Now let's take the other guy, the other fighter. Let's say that this other fighter, let's say he's literally just fighting because he just loves fighting. He just loves fighting and that's it. He doesn't even care about the women or the victory. He doesn't care if he loses. He just is there to fight. Which one of those guys is going to win? So it's obvious who's going to win. And this is like kind of one of the secrets of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita has many secrets, but a big secret, or like, one of the main points is, do your activity for the sake of doing your activity. And if you want to go a step further, then even do it for God. So, but sometimes it's hard. I mean, how can we do the activity of sweeping the floor just for the sake of sweeping the floor? Like, does anyone really like sweeping the floor? Like, maybe some weirdos do, But there's preliminary stages. So in this chapter, he says, when you first start, it's at the last page of this chapter. He says when you first start, he says, just try to do it for Krishna. Just try to do it for God. That's the preliminary stage. So that's what happens in life, is you can graduate on to other levels. So once you do the thing that you need to be doing correctly, and you do it for Krishna, you do it for God. We're not sectarian, of course. Whatever your job is, you're not going to be allowed to graduate from your floor sweeping job until you get it right. Spiritually speaking, you're not going to be able to graduate from being a barista until you get it right, and you go to work and you're there with you're happy and you have zest for life, and you're doing your job, and you're like doing it for God, and you have a smile, and you're giving good service. There's something deep inside of the inner soul or the higher self that is not going to allow you to progress to the next thing until you've shown that you're faithful in the little things. This is totally biblical. If I'm the father and I have the son, and I'm like, son, take care of the goats for me. And the kid can't take care of the goats. How am I going to trust the kid if he can't take care of the goats to take care of, his sister, or, that's just an animal, or a baby, or like large sums of money, or like weapons, and get higher up, or to run the company someday, to run the whole thing. No, first you have to show that you can take care of the goats first, or even take care of yourself. So a lot of times in life, people are frustrated because of their station in life. And if you are frustrated for your station in life and you'd like to move on, more than likely you can benefit by incorporating Krishna consciousness into whatever it is you're doing right now. Because once you start doing what you're doing right now with that golden aura of service for the Lord, for God, whatever your God is, Allah, Christ, Krishna, whatever, this is going to allow you to graduate up to the next thing. And now that you've shown the Father or the Goddess, Divine Feminine or whatever, now that you've shown that you're a worthy and you're a good servant and you're not going to like screw it up, okay, now I'm going to give you more responsibility. I'm going to elevate you higher because you've shown me that you're doing a good job. And it's literally that simple. We like to complicate everything. Oh, manifesting, you're not manifesting right, or this or that. It's like, no, you're in your station for a reason. Of course, I believe in manifestation and all that, but there's deep levels of the soul, and there's checkpoints, and there's things that need to get checked off before you move on. And one of those things may be, being able to do your job that you're doing now in gratitude, and as a service, and with a good attitude, etc., etc. So, chapter 2 of The Perfection of Yoga by Prabhupada. Good stuff.